Ako urong dito, and I said I would stake my honor, my life, and even the presidency.
Okay, good afternoon, Malacañang Press Corps. Let's now have Presidential Spokesperson Salvador Panelo. Good afternoon, sir.
Before I entertain questions, for the uptime time, there is another attempt to use my name, in other words, fraudulent, using this time my messenger. The wife of one convict was approached by this fraud using my name if she wanted to facilitate the release of the husband. In other words, humingi ng pera. Pero sinasabi niya nagtatagalog sa akin, nahalata ko na, hindi ikaw, medyo hawig mo boses. Siguro nakahalata rin, hindi niya tinuloy. Pero ang transaction daw sa Cebu. So, I think this is the same person. Sa Cebu, he almost succeeded sa isang mayor Di-deposit ng pera. So, siguro yung aking messenger, tatanggalin ko na rin. Pinatanggal ko na lahat ng FB accounts ko. Magaling sila. Hindi ko malaman how they can do it. How can they do it? I mean, they pretend that I'm the one. Yeah. Kasi mayroon akong messenger Paano nila nagagawa yan? How is that possible?
Use your microphone, Joseph.
So I'm warning again the public, please, every time they use my name, it's not true. It's fraud.
Okay, questions? Joseph? Secretary, your microphone, please.
Sir, dun po sa road board, no?
Yes.
So apparently si Congressman Nandaya, well, context of course, you know what happened with Secretary Jokno. No? He said that there are congressmen who asked for the release, who followed up on the release of the road boat fund, including Congressman Nandaya and Congressman Suarez. Now, both are denying it. And yesterday, Congressman Nandaya came up with a list of allegedly congressmen who did ask the road board to release the funds. And some of them, according to him, are allies of the president. Your comment, please.
I doubt if that is true. In the same way that when he said that Secretary Jokno and I were out of touch with the president regarding the position of the president, I think he was referring to himself. Either he was referring to himself that he is out of touch with the president, or he was mentioning that there was a dinner between the president, the speaker, and him. And on that dinner in September, the president, according to him, wanted the release of the funds. But either he was not listening to the president closely or he misunderstood what the president said. I talked with the president last night in connection with the courtesy call, and I asked him specifically what is his position, because you people have been asking me exactly what is the position of the president. I will quote him exact words. He said, day one, I was already against this road users tax because ginagamit lang ang ginagawa lang gatasan ng mga corrupt na mga politiko. So I said, okay, then I'll make a statement of that. So that's the position of the president. He doesn't like it. He wants it abolished.
Okay, clarification. So road users tax and the road board are different, no? So both. He wants to abolish the road board then that collects the road users tax, yes?
I think so. That's logically, that would be the consequence.
Okay, sir, when you say you doubt the list of Congressman Nandaya, what do you mean? Did we do a counter check with the road board to verify if these are indeed the congressmen who asked for the release of the road board?
I don't have to ask them. Knowing Secretary Sara Dominguez, because he was mentioned to be going there, that is not the style of Secretary Dominguez. He's suplado. He will not even go there. And he mentioned Secretary Dominguez and others daw, members of the cabinet, pumunta ron sa kay Speaker Arroyo o doon sa Congress at sinasabing, huwag niyong galawin yung budget na yan, kay Presidente. They will never do that. out of character yun sa Secretary Dominguez.
Okay, sir.
Siya, straight yun.
Follow-up, Ina.
Sir, did you ask him about Congressman Andaya's allegations? Supposedly they met and that he agreed not to abolish
Siguro
the rule.
totoo yun na nag-meeting. But as I said earlier, baka he misunderstood the President. Yun na lang ang pwede nating sabihin doon.
Questions, MPC. No more? Ina, other issue. Other issue.
Where did you graduate, sir?
Come again?
UP. Where did you graduate from?
Where did I what?
Graduate.
UP.
Okay, good. Any comment on the bullying video or fighting video in Ateneo that concerned
The
minors?
bullying?
Yeah?
You know, I watched that.
Oh.
I was bothered by what I saw. I think they should investigate first why there was such a one-sided fight. Given the fact that the one who mauled was much smaller, parang liit niya eh. Gulat nga ako nang yung pala, ano siya, magaling sa, ano yan? Taekwondo. Pero sabi ko nga, baka naman may nag-trigger. Kasi parang sinasabi nila na that bata should undergo psychiatric exams. Eh baka naman kako na-trigger yung galit niya and knowing na magaling siya at laki yung kalaban niya. Pero dapat talaga imbestigahan. I think we should investigate the school should investigate the incidents and do something about it. You cannot be allowing bullying inside classroom and school. Besides, there is a law against that.
Questions? Other issue or follow-up? No more questions? Ina.
Sir, on a different issue rin, I'd just like to get your thoughts on what happened dun sa hinostage members of the military and militiamen by NPA rebels in Agusan del Sur. Sir, this happened at a time when martial law is still in effect and dapat naka-heightened alert pa because of the...
Is that in Mindanao or in
Agusan.
another area?
Agusan. And the Defense Secretary admitted na parang walang labanan na nangyari. So the soldiers seem
Ang
to have
sinabi niya
been...
na sorpresa sila, nagulat.
Oh,
Siguro, ang tingin ko doon, kasi hindi ba yun nga ang problema, they've been declaring they will have this truce. So siguro, naniwala naman yung mga tao natin sa ground na may truce, so they did not anticipate those attacks. And now, it seems to me now that they're using the truce para to have our soldiers on the ground off guard. They're taking advantage of that.
was it prudent for our soldiers? I mean, you mentioned hindi nila in-anticipate, but again, martial law is in effect and they're supposed to be on heightened alert because of the CPP's anniversary. So supposedly expecting more possible attacks.
Well, definitely it's not prudent. Right? Nagkamali sila, kaya look what happened to them. Yeah, that should be a lesson for all of them. They should always be like Boy Scout, be prepared. It's like a thief in the night. The NPAs will come to you and assault you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, questions. MPC. Raymond.
Sir, just your reaction to the statement of CPP founding chairman Joe Masison na he promised to release yung mga hinostage na sundalo at kafgo during Christmas time. What can you say to this gesture of the communist leader?
Meron ba mga captive sila? Hostages?
Meron, sir.
Mga ilan?
Recent lang.
Well, we welcome that. But it doesn't mean that we will stop the assault on those forces that are going to ambush our troops.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, MPC. Wala na kayong tanong? Oh, Joseph. Raymond, meron? May follow-up ka pa? Oh, go. Sige, Raymond.
Sir, what can you say also to another gesture, Congressman, House Majority Leader Rolando Andanar Jr., naghahamon siya ng debate kaugnay sa, or particularly kay Budget Secretary Benjamin Jokno recognized road users tax. So what can you say to that attitude?
Knowing Secretary Jokno, he might he might say yes to that. Parang hindi nila naiintindihan yung, I mean, the Secretary Jokno's explained to you, he has nothing to do with the allocations. All he has to do is to prepare based on the recommendations of the line agencies.
Sir, Senator Lacson is also asking the President to speak or to finally talk about this issue of the road insertions, road users tax. Kasi parang he says sina Andaya and
Well, he has
Secretary
spoken
Jokno.
last night. That's why I'm speaking to all of you and to those who claim that that is not the position of the President. Those were the exact words he said. From day one, I'm against it. Kasi ginagawa lang katasan ng mga corrupt politicians.
So as we speak, Secretary Jokno has the full backing
Oh,
and support
definitely.
of the
He
President.
has the full backing of the President as well as all the members of the Cabinet.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Ina.
Sir, just ano po ba talaga yung status ng bill? Is it with the President or is he now asking his allies to maybe
Sabi
fast-track
nila,
yung pag-transmit sa kanya? And is he going to sign it as soon as it reaches his table?
It was received, I think, by the Legislative Liaison Office. But you know, there might be, I was discussing with ES yesterday because it was submitted to us, all right? The
When, sir?
Liaison Office received
PLLO,
it,
you mean?
okay? And the problem is, according to the House, it was not signed by Speaker Arroyo. But ES was saying that that's ministerial. Still, they can say, oh, but we did not sign it. So there may be a legal question on whether or not that is, from the point of view of the law, is indeed an enrolled bill ready for signing. So siguro, somebody will have to go to the courts.
So how do you intend to resolve that? I mean, it's with you, and then ES is saying that that's just a ministerial issue. But then again, what if he insists na hindi nga po pinirmahan
Oh,
ni
well,
Speaker?
siguro, if the President really wants to end this, he will sign it. And then they will go to the court. Those from the House, they may question it.
So he will sign it even without the Speaker's
And most
signature?
likely he will, because if it's only ministerial on the part of the Speaker. And Senator Soto was explaining, and I tend to agree, that since the House has already submitted to us, they have lost jurisdiction over the same. So they cannot be rescinding what they have already submitted to us. And we have already adopted their position.
So when can we expect the President to sign it? How soon?
Let's see. I'll ask him again.
Thank you, sir.
Raymond. May follow-up ba? Julie, no follow-up? Raymond.
Kailan ba? Parang the day before yesterday. Parang yun ang statements na jari.
Okay, other issue?
Budget.
Okay.
Sir, are you in one way or the other dismayed during the Arroyo speakership? Because it is during this time that we will be having a reenacted budget come next year. Considering this is a very important bill.
So what's the question?
Yeah, are you dismayed to the House leadership of Speaker Arroyo?
No naman. In fairness to them, they have the reasons why it was delayed. They're explaining that they have to evaluate, review, and that's their constitutional duty. So we'll give it to them.
Okay, thank you.
Question. Other issue. Julie.
Sir, can we just get the palace's take on Senator Lacson's claim that there is around 583 billion worth of wasteful projects from last year's 3.3 trillion budget, and this is according to the COA, and apparently there are two agencies which had wasteful projects, the Bureau of Customs and the Department of Energy.
Well, again, as I said before, as we have repeatedly said, it's the job of Congress to scrutinize the budget. So if there's any irregularity on that, they have to correct it. That's their job. Ours is just to prepare a budget for their approval.
This is for the 2017, sir. Is Malacañang considering an investigation into this?
The wasteful projects?
Yeah, that is for
Well,
for the 2017
First, I
national
cannot
budget.
understand what does it mean by a wasteful project?
Apparently, these are
Meaning to say there is an appropriation for a
government
particular
projects which were issued notices of suspensions, disallowances, and charges by the COA.
Which what?
The COA issued the notices of suspensions, disallowances, and charges for
Because?
these projects.
Because what?
Wait. Apparently, these were discontinued or shelved
For what
projects.
now?
for last
Hindi, ano
year.
reason man ng COA? Why was it suspended?
Ba?
Sir, the COA was saying that some government projects were stopped or under litigation because they were found to be irregular, unnecessary, or extravagant.
In other
From
words,
last year's...
in other words, the projects were stopped because there is a legal issue involved. Baka may nag-file. Like yung losing bidder, baka nag-file, so in-stop. Kaya siguro gano'n. But it doesn't mean na it was wasted. Nahinto lang.
But there were questions on irregular spending on the part of the government, sir, like on the part of the Bureau of Customs, the Department of Public Works and Highways. So, will Malacañang...
Then it's the duty of COA to recommend filing of charges. And then the DOJ will have to take over.
But will, on the part of the Malacañang, will you initiate a probe to look into this, knowing the government's hard stand on corruption?
It doesn't have to do that because precisely if COA finds something irregular, then it is duty to recommend filing of charges. It is also the duty of DOJ to do the same. File it. Kumbaga na-imbestiga na, so what is there to investigate?
But will the President talk to the heads of these agencies like the Bureau of Customs and the DPWH, sir?
No, the President's palaging style naman ni Presidente, bahala kayo dyan. Eh, kung may bulilyaso, you'll be accountable to me.
Question? Other issue? May follow-up pa ba?
Ang alam ko, ang sabi sa akin ni Secretary Jokno noon, marami daw, may mga budget ang line agencies, pero they're underspending. Underspending, hindi nila nagagamit yung pera. Kaya nga sinasabi nila, gamitin nyo, hindi nyo ginagamit eh.
Other issue?
Sir, may exit question. Sir, pwede makichismis yung
Catriona?
pinag-usapan nila Presidente ni Catriona
Well,
kahapon.
pagdating ni Presidente, nandun nga pala si Bongo, who is a candidate for Senate, who apparently would be landing as the top-notcher of the Senate race, given what I've been hearing around the country. Anyway, he was there, and di ba, selfie king yun eh. Selfie. Lahat may selfie. Tapos nung dumating si Presidente, nakaupo na kami doon sa room. Siyempre, tayuan kami. Sabi ni Presidente, taas, tangkad eh. And then sabi niya, thank you for bringing the crown, and everyone is agog, elated, euphoric, panalo. Oh, how was the, parang ang dinig ko, death-defying experience. Sabi naman ni Catriona, sir, it was not death-defying. Kaya lang, maraming problema, you know, may tension, and all that. And then the President was telling her, you know, sabi niya, my wife, referring to Hanelet, wanted to come with me to greet you because, like you, she's a beauty queen. She was first runner-up to Mocha ng Davao. But Kitty still has a class, kaya hindi siya nakapunta. And then they were exchanging pleasantries, yung mga experiences niya. And then I reminded the President and Catriona that I was one of the judges during the Miss World. At ang sabi naman ni President, you voted for her, kaya nanalo? No, Mr. President, we were all unanimous. Pagkita pa lang namin, tingin na kami lahat na 15 yata kami judges. Wala, hands down siya. Talagang maganda siya.
Okay, may follow-up, Joseph? Wala na? Okay. MPC, questions. Nestor.
Sir, on another topic, last na lang. A report from the Southeast Asia Media Freedom showed that the Philippines is among the worst countries for journalists in Southeast Asia, citing the threat of impunity, safety, and censorship in the country. What's the palace take on this, sir?
The worst?
One of the worst countries for journalists in Southeast Asia, citing the threats of impunity, safety, and censorship in the country.
Well, for one, the deaths of journalists in this country appears not to be connected with their job. From what I gather from those who have been killed, may kinalaman sa personal na pamumuhay nila. Nothing to do with journalism. Meron din, one or two, pero hindi yung as a rule. Yun nga ang sinasabi namin, like for instance, sinasabi nila na si Reza, kadimanda, yun naman mga yun nothing to do with freedom of expression. If you violate the law, you cannot be immune from prosecution. And binibigyan naman siya ng due process. Nakalabas nga siya.
Okay, MPC, may follow-up. Joseph? Microphone, please.
Sir, yun lang pong United Nations Human Rights Council on a working group on arbitrary detention. Nag-refer yung case ni Senator De Lima for investigation with regard to alleged violation of her right to freedom of opinion, expression. Sir, sandali. The UN Working Group found sufficient grounds that her rights as duly elected senator and human rights defender have been violated. So they're investigating that kind of allegation.
Well, they've been saying that, and we've been saying, well, the problem with you people is you're listening to the critics of this administration. You're not investigating on your own. There is a process in this country, and we follow that process. They're there because probable cause was found. That's why information was filed against this accused. To my mind, intrusion of our sovereignty yung ginagawa nila.
Follow-up. Other issue. Okay? Other issue.
Sir, bilang Pasko naman, saan si Presidente magpapasko, sir? Sa Davao?
Presidente,
Yeah.
sa Davao. Every Christmas naman ganun siya, or birthdays, he spends it with his family always.
Will he be...
No frills.
No frills. Will he be visiting the kids? Yung mga cancer
Yung mga,
patients?
palagi naman ganun ang style ni Presidente. Handicap. Doon siya mababaw ang puso ni Presidente sa mga handicap, special children, may mga sakit ng cancer. Doon mo makita yung kanyang compassion. He sheds tears every time.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, MPC, no more questions? Okay, thank you, Presidential Spokesperson
Thank you.
Salvador Panelo. Thank you, Malacañang Press Corps. Merry Christmas. Back to our main studio sa Radyo Pilipinas and People's Television Network.